Hello and welcome to another episode. So last time I had completed, well, not completed, but rather I had finished optimizing Dublin and gotten a pretty good score there. And previously I had done Belfast. And if you take a look here for the United Kingdom, though Ireland is the only thing they haven't hooked up. So things that have been hooked up and had goods delivered in the world map are indicated by white named cities, and the ones that are yellow, the level's been completed, but I haven't hooked them up in the world map. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can do that. So let's connect Belfast and Dublin. You could say we're unifying Ireland. That's good. That's a good title. Good thumbnail, catchy thing. Uniting by rail. Yeah. Let's not read too much into it now. All right, so let's see what we need here. Here we need beer and textiles, and here we need some more liquor. All right, so the liquor is going to be the harder thing to get there. Textiles are not too bad. There's a textile factory, and that will take some wool, which we can get from some sheep pastures around. So yeah, so that one is relatively straightforward. So some sheep over the textile there. And then beer can be delivered from the brewery. And then liquor needs to get to the distillery. We need to take beer over from the brewery to the distillery. And then the brewery itself needs wheat from the wheat fields. So, all in all, that's a little bit complicated and a bit intermingled. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, what will be they're both about equally complicated, I guess. So let's focus on the most important thing first, which I think everybody can agree is going to be the whiskey. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and have this wheat field deliver over to the brewery. Maybe I should actually have it be on this side, because then it'll be easier to have the beer come out here to the distillery. Makes sense to me, at least. Let's get that over a little bit. And for platforms, and that looks good. Almost. That looks good. No, it still doesn't. Need a little bit more space. And so it'll be like 5 cars length is what I'm figuring. And I just sort of wound up doing that as my default, and I don't know if it's a good default. Maybe it should be longer, maybe it should be shorter. Yeah. I haven't really figured that out, which is a little bit silly. But I feel like it's a good length because the amount of distance you have to travel on the platforms, the workers travel, actually increases the amount of time it takes to load a car. So if they have to go too far, that becomes a little bit less efficient. So that's why I feel like you don't want to have too long of a train, but I'm not really sure. And if you have multiple platforms, then that becomes less of a factor because, to go the longer distance, like to the second platform, like there's already some overhead, right? So it's a little bit more overhead for a longer train. Okay, a lot talking about that, but let's proceed. Let's do stuff. So that's delivering wheat to the brewery, and we're going to need to somehow fuel these trains. And there's basically 2 options. You could either have the train somehow swing by the forest to pick up wood, which will be our fuel, or you you can deliver wood to one of the locations. And maybe let's just deliver wood to a location. Let's deliver over here to this brewery. And I'll just hook in here. I think that'll be fine. And I'll just make it the same length because why not? And okay, let's make a wood delivering train. And let's make a train here that carries the wheat. And then at the brewery, we're going to need to set some sort of signaling here because we're now sharing this platform. So how should we do that? Well, it's not too bad really. We just need to have some chain signals coming in and this double directional block signal here. And we also will have to fix the routing. So let's go into the routing mode. What do we have here? The wheat train should go there, and the wood train should go there. Hello? Oh. Hold on. I think that something might be a little, this needs to also be double directional. But let's look in the routing mode again. Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, it was just like impossible actually, so it was confused. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. Sorted. So let's just double check that that works. Okay, yeah. There you can see the workers delivering their stuff. Okay, and now deliver the wood. And of course there's nothing to do. We need a wood silo. And let's have this go real fast. Yeah, builds up the silo. Great. Now, what we might also need to do is have the wood train go to the distillery. So let's go ahead and do that. Because the wood is one of the inputs that's required. And I don't recall what I was thinking about. I was saying before, it's like, oh, to distill it, need to heat up the beer to boil off the alcohol. But actually, I think what I was originally thinking is more that it's for like the wooden barrels that that you make whiskey from, right? You like put it into a wooden barrel, and that's what gives the flavor. Anyhow, so I need some signals here for the train to stop. And I guess I'll just put some signal here. That ought to work. So I don't know if this is a silly thing to do. I guess the wood train doesn't need to be like terribly efficient because yeah, because wood is, you need less wood than the beer in the distillery, right? Like it's 2 wood versus 4 beer. And the beer itself is going to be like not so much because you need to like convert the wheat into the beer. So I think we're not going to be needing that much wood. So even though this is kind of silly, it ought to be maybe all right. And if it's not, can do something later to fix it. Now, the question is, how are we going to deliver the beer? do it in the same line? Like, no, we can't, because this only works with one train. So maybe it was kind of silly to do that. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I feel like this is all a little bit silly and poorly planned. That I ought to have like some sort of double track going around. Hmm. Well, yes, I'm very happy with this. Um, yeah, this it's not great. Whatever. Just do something. It doesn't have to be optimal or even good for that matter. Oops, that's not what I want. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'll just have this train go back and forth here carrying beer. This is so bad. What am I doing? Jeez. Okay, let's put chain signal down. This is terrible. Like all these trains like sharing one platform and each one is like a single track. It's fine. It's fine. Um, Anyhow, so if I need to train for the brewery to carry the beer. And okay, right. Let's make this guy wait. And we also need to fix the routing so it goes there. And wheat and wood. Okay, you guys are good. And yeah, that's fine. But I've set this up like eventually I can make it, you know, a more proper like double track where the trains like kind of go in a loop instead of like two single tracks that just happen to be next to each other. So distillery is getting wood, which is one of the required things. And the beer train is coming out. Okay, follow the bear output. There should be a 0. And it's delivering to the distillery, and the distillery should be converting the beer and wood into liquor. Yes. Great. And then we can deliver that to who do you again? Is Belfast needs it. All right. They are people with refined taste. And I just put a little platform there. And yeah, should be no problem. I'll just take the stuff up here, like so. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. And what do we need? We need also the wood is coming here, so it will build this silo so that we can fuel our train. put a train here that will carry our liquor. Awesome. So that should make Belfast happy, I think. And it should have made this wait on the distillery. No point in sending the train out. There's nothing to pick up. And is Belfast happy? Yes, Belfast is happy. All right, we've. Oh no, ran out of fuel. How? Why? Oh! I know why. Here, I'll show you just so you can see. I didn't make enough platforms. It's gonna be a little bit slow. But basically, the tender doesn't have a platform. Watch. Boop. Here, you see? That's the problem. There's no way for the workers to get wood over to the tender. So, that's easily solved. Train 13 ran out of fuel. You ran out of fuel. What? Now that one confuses me, because shouldn't it be picking up from here? Or is that the same issue? I think it might have been the same issue. Yeah, okay. Okay. And despite the inefficiency, you can see Belfast here, 75, 80, 90. It's not that far behind these other guys. I mean, it is going to still be the limiting factor, but not by as much as you might think. Okay, let's go to hyperspeed. Just to complete it. Almost there. All right, look at that. See, the color changed. It's completed. See, green here. It's great. All right. So we've confirmed that we can do that. Now let's do Dublin. And it needs beer and textiles. Okay, so the beer part can be handled easily enough. You know, it kind of pains me how inefficient this is. Maybe I should do something. About that editing mode. I'm actually amazed that that was the correct orientation after tracking it like that. That's too tight of a curve. Okay. I was suspecting that might be the case. Oh, that's even tighter. No. Okay, let's delete the signal. Okay, how about that? Okay. That was acceptable. But why did I do that? So that I can just make this come over into a different platform. But just not having so much contention on the things here. It should make it better, and then I can double track this, because, you know, I'm not trying to optimize this as much as possible, but right now it's like not so much optimal as non-optimal as it is passable. It's like really bad. So this is a little better. And let's set up our signals real fast. And we can get double trains going. So our chain signals, and then these signals exiting. And I feel like that would be a little bit nicer. Okay. And here, let's do 3 trains. And okay, let's try that again. Okay, 3 trains is too many. I think 2 is good. Okay, yeah, that's very nice. So it should be a little bit better. And we can just run it fast, and let's see here. Yeah, okay, see, Belfast is ahead of London, so it's no longer the limiting factor. Great. So I was doing all that because I also want to deliver beer over to Belfast here. Not to Belfast, to Dublin, over here. So how can we do that? So one thing that we can do is we could just cut the track here and make another little leg that goes this way over to Dublin. And how do I want to deliver it? I think that something like that would be very nice. Yeah, that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? This is still a single track, which is not great because I would like to have, different trains going. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do something. I think I need to move things around a little bit. And these can't be on the curve part. I just don't like them being on the curve part. But it's honestly just more efficient to have smaller intersections. Right, so okay. So that's some sort of double track thing going on. And then what do we need here? What we can actually do is these can, essentially it's like just a really wide split station in a sense, if you think about it in a funny way. So we can have that, and then a chain signal and a free signal exiting. And then this is just like sort of a funny intersection. It'll be fine. So we've got one beer train here, and perhaps you know what? Let's have this beer train. That's kind of an awkward way to place it in the first place. So maybe it could go over here. Oh, that's also awkward. Okay. Just for organizational purposes, I'll put it over here, and this will also be some beer. And maybe I should actually name this. This could be Dublin beer. All right. And we're going to have to fix our routing. So what have we got here? So the beer should go from here to there. Dublin beer should go to there. Also, both beer and Dublin beer should go there. I do believe. And let's just check that other things are fine. That looks correct. Everything is great. Cool. So what am I doing? Okay, so this guy should just come and sort of wait. Should I have made it wait for something to be available in the room? Or is that too much? Maybe I should have. Because it's gonna just like bounce off and do nothing. Okay. Sure. Let's make it wait. Okay, so that should, okay, yeah. Let's go into the distillery. And then Dublin beer is fine. And delivering to Dublin. Okay. Now, I think the problem is that this is going to get full way too fast. So I actually want this to be a short train. Wait, just one or two. One, okay, let's put one more. Let's do two. And so that's part of what Dublin needs, but it also needs textiles. All right, so let's make a textile factory. And just go on the other side, like that. Because then there's a straighter line for the sheep. Somehow you're going to need to cross anyhow. Yeah, let's do it that way. And let's pick up some wool. This should be pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 4, 5. A little extra space. We're still going to need wood from the forest. So what do I want to do about that? Is it? Yeah, there's not a real nice way to get the wood over there. I guess, but this doesn't make me real happy, but we could just have it swing by the forest. Just make a little pit stop. And I guess just try back here as an initial crappy solution. Yeah, maybe I should say expedient. That sounds more professional. It's an expedient solution. Then here, I guess I just did free signal. This is a row in this situation, so need a little bit more space. Okay, and back to free signal. And I guess we need a free signal here. What do we need here? I guess we need a chain signal and then a two-way block signal. We just have like one train that's going here for the moment. And let's see here, we need wool. I think that ought to work. I don't know why I'm playing like a chain signal because there's just one train. Well, I guess you could have a train here while another one's like unloading at the textile factory or something, doing this little loop. It's not totally stupid. It's a little bit stupid, but not completely stupid. All right. Right. We have our bull train that's set up, and we need to deliver something over to Dublin. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, to avoid having tracks cross, we should probably have this over on that side. Let's have like that. Yeah, this is looking ugly for a sec. Wait, here, just move out of the way. How can we place this nicely? Okay. Okay, that seems a bit better. And so then we can adjust our textiles. Again, I don't think we're going to have many. Okay, but how's the textile train going to be fueled? That's a question, isn't it? One I hadn't really thought about. I did all this and I didn't think about the textile train. Okay, I feel like I'm going to do so. I just do something so dumb. Okay, how about, all right, let's clear this out. Got the wood, and where's the wool? Sure, it's beautiful. Amazing. We'll just sort of pick up the wood and deliver it over there every once in a while. Because, you know, that's what you do. And then we'll deliver some textiles over here. Maybe it can be short. Just like a little short textile train. I think 3 long is what I did. And we can wait. Let's and so that needs to wait here. All right, slope too high. Oh, yeah, that probably is a little bit too high of a slope. There. Let's do like that. Okay, that's fine. And I do have a bit of a crossing here, so we need to prevent our trains from crashing. Honestly, both these are so low traffic that I'm not sure they would crash. But let's make it correct. This thing is just zooming back and forth like a madman. Oh, 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 oh. We have an issue, which is that the wood was not being picked up from the forest. That's why this was never filling. Okay. So I do have some wood in the silo. This guy is going crazy. Okay. We're supplying just fast enough. Alright. That's looking pretty good. So I think, how's Dublin doing? Okay. Yeah. That's actually being supplied reasonably quickly. Because, you know, the thing is, textiles are, well, it's like second tier, right? It's like first tier is like the wool or the wheat. Second tier is the beer or the textiles. And then third tier is the distillery. Like that's like third down the production chain. So it's like really limited and slow to produce. So yeah. So it's easier to supply Dublin. So let's just run this. This up. Almost done. Almost done. Done. Oh, but we have to wait for Belfast. So you can only unlock a new thing once everything that you've previously unlocked gets unlocked. Okay. So it's completed. England has now been completed, which is pretty cool. All right. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, hit like, maybe subscribe if you want to see more videos of this nature, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.